Hello, everybody, and welcome today. We'll be talking to you all about everything you want to know about life as a Miller-Motte College student online. Today, we have three fabulous advisors with us today. We have Ashley Durham, we have Jamesia Underwood, and James Nemeth. They'll all be giving you just tips and tricks on what it's like just to be a student online with us. So I'll go ahead and pass it over to Ashley to get us started.
All right, thank you for that. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ashley Durham, and I am a student advisor here at Miller-Motte College Online. I want to take some time to walk you through what a typical 5-week course looks like here at Miller-Motte College and what you can expect as you move through each week. Understanding the rhythm of the course can really help you stay organized and help you feel more confident as you get started in your program here with us. We all want to feel confident in what we're doing, and these are some tips and tricks to help you with that. Let's start off and begin with week one of class. Week one is really all about getting comfortable and learning how everything works. Starting a new program is exciting, but it can also feel a little overwhelming at first. You're being introduced to new systems, new expectations, and a new routine. So it's completely normal if it takes a little bit of time to adjust. During this first week, you're going to start to get to know your student service advisor. You're also going to be attending a walk to class session where you'll learn how to log into your student portal, all about Canvas and your classroom, and you're going to start to begin to get familiar with your technology that you'll be using throughout your program. One of the most important things that you'll want to do this week is review your course syllabus. Your syllabus is essentially the roadmap for your course. It explains your assignment deadlines, grading expectations, and of course, your policies. Taking a few minutes to review it early can really help you stay organized and plan ahead. Another very important step during week one is making your very first discussion board post. That first post establishes your attendance in class and begins your engagement in the course. In addition to your first discussion post, you may also have other weekly assignments such as quizzes, other written assignments, projects, and most of your courses, everything for learning unit is going to be due at the end of the week, which is Sunday at 11:59 Eastern Time. The best thing that you can do is review your assignments early in the week so that nothing sneaks up on you last minute. And remember, if you ever have trouble logging in, navigating the platform, or submitting assignments, Student Services is here to help. Now we're going to roll right along into week two of class. By week two, most students start finding their rhythm. You'll begin to understand how your course is structured and how assignments fit into your weekly schedule. This is also the time when many students start balancing schoolwork with other responsibilities, family commitments, and everything else that life brings up. Week two is often when students realize how much time they'll need to dedicate to their coursework. That realization can feel challenging at first, but it's also the perfect time to develop strong time management skills. One strategy that really works well for many students is setting aside specific days each week to log into class. For example, many students log in and complete work at a minimum of 3 to 4 days a week. This schedule is going to look different for every student, and that schedule may not work best for you, but we recommend at least 3 to 4 days, such as maybe Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. When you log in, you want to try to dedicate at least 2 hours reviewing your course materials, working on discussion posts, completing your quizzes, and making progress on other assignments. Breaking your work into smaller sessions throughout the week makes it much easier to manage compared to trying to complete everything on Sunday night. Now we're into week three. You have finally reached the halfway point. By week three, you've likely submitted several assignments and started receiving feedback from your instructor. This is a great time to pause for a moment and check your progress. Take a look at your grades and read through your instructor's comments. Their feedback is going to give you a lot of helpful insight into what you're doing well and some areas where you might be able to improve. Instructor feedback is valuable because it helps you strengthen your work as you move forward in your course. Communication also becomes really important during the stage. If you have questions about assignments, grading, or expectations, reaching out to your instructor can help clarify things quickly. Student services can also help review your progress and create a plan if you need help catching up or improving your grades before the course ends. Now, we are sliding on into week 4. By this time, you're starting to see the finish line. It's nearly there. At the same time, this is when many students start feeling that pressure of deadlines and everything else that you're balancing in life. It's very common around this time to feel a little tired or overwhelmed, especially if you're juggling work, family, and all your other school responsibilities. The key during week 4 is to stay focused and keep moving forward, just one step at a time. Taking a moment to check your grade and review your assignment list if you have any missing work or assignments that can improve your grade. This is a great time to focus on getting those completed. Sometimes the best approach is simply breaking things down into smaller steps. Focus on one assignment at a time and prioritize what needs to be completed first. Remember, you've already put several weeks of effort into this course and you're very close to finishing. Finally, you have reached week 5. This is all about finishing strong. This is the time to review your course requirements, complete any remaining assignments, and double check that everything has been submitted before the deadline. Finishing a course successfully is a big accomplishment. Each course you complete brings you one step closer to earning your certification or your degree and reaching your career goals. As you finish your assignments, you'll begin preparing for your next set of classes. The habits that you've developed, the time management, consistent participation, and communication will continue to help you succeed as you move forward in your program. Before I wrap up, I just want to remind you that behind every login and every assignment, we know you are working hard to build a better future for yourselves and your families. We recognize the dedication and we're here to support you every step of the way. Student Services is here to help you stay on track, answer your questions, and provide guidance whenever you need it. With that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Jamesia, who will go over a little bit more in more detail about the role of Student Services and how we further support you in your program.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jamesia Underwood. I am one of the student services advisors here. I work primarily with SAP students, which are students who may be struggling academically, and my role is to help guide them, keep them motivated, and connect them with tools and support they need to get back on track and continue moving forward in their program. So I'd like to start by talking about the role student services plays in helping you navigate your journey here at Miller-Motte. So we do understand that starting school, especially online, can feel pretty exciting, but it can also feel overwhelming. Many of you are balancing work, family responsibilities, financial obligations, personal commitments, life events that don't always follow a schedule, right? Because we know that those things happen. So if you ever feel like you're juggling a lot, you're not alone. That's exactly why student services exists. Our role is simple: to guide you, support you, and help you stay on track from your first day of class all the way to graduation. Now, one of the most important ways we support you is through guidance, especially at the beginning of your program when everything is new. We understand that for many of you, this may be your first time in college, or you may be coming back after some time away. And that transition alone can feel like a huge adjustment. One thing about it, wherever you are in your journey, we are here to guide you. We know that you're learning a new online platform, a new class structure, new expectations, and new ways of managing your time. Again, just going back to juggling those personal responsibilities. And that's exactly where we come in. Student Services helps to guide you by explaining those academic expectations, helping you to understand how your courses are structured, showing you where to find the resources that support your success. And we also help you build strategies that make school a little bit more manageable alongside your real life. Because we understand that school may not be the only responsibility that you have. So that's why another way that we help you stay on track is through regular check ins and ongoing support throughout the term. You'll hear from us regularly because those check ins allow us to review your progress, look at grades and attendance, connect you with additional resources when needed, and identify those challenges early. So, I want to share just a quick example with you with one of my current students. He is a truck driver who is over the road weekly. Now, the best time to commit is at night when things are a little bit slower for him. We've been able to identify a schedule that fits for him. Sometimes it does require him to submit those assignments well before the due date to stay on track. And so, through identifying those challenges presented early on, we were able to come up with a plan to help him stay on track throughout the week. So, our goal is simple. If something feels difficult, we want to address it early before it becomes overwhelming. Next slide, please. Another important part of student services is connecting you with tools that strengthen your academic success. Some of the most helpful resources available to you include the Learn Library, which is a resource that helps with research support, citation guidance, academic writing tools, and we also encourage you to take advantage of tutoring services, which are offered one on one, and there are some live sessions as well. Your instructor's office hours, and any other academic support resources that include study skills, assignment guidance, and clarification of course material. Now, one thing I want to remind you is this: the most successful students are not the ones who never struggle, they're the ones who use the resources available to them early. Next slide, please. Another key part of your success is communication, especially in an online learning environment. When you're learning online, you don't always see your instructor or advisor face to face, unless, of course, it is an arranged meeting. That's why staying connected matters. Student Services encourages regular communication with your advisor, reaching out to instructors when something isn't clear, and asking questions early instead of waiting until the end of the week. When you stay engaged and communicate regularly, it becomes much easier to solve small problems before they turn into bigger challenges. Now, one thing we've learned is that when you stay connected, use your resources early, and communicate when challenges come up, you are much more likely to stay on track and successfully complete your program. And that leads into another important role Student Services plays, which is helping you stay accountable to your goals. Next slide, please. Our students come to Miller-Motte because they want something better for their future. But life as we know it doesn't always cooperate with our plans, right? So sometimes you may fall behind, things may feel overwhelming. And when that happens, our role isn't to judge, it is to help you refocus. So our advisors will work with you to create weekly study schedules, break those larger assignments into smaller steps. Because I can tell you something is that cramming doesn't always produce the best outcome. And we want to make sure that you're setting realistic academic goals and staying consistent with logging into class and completing coursework. Accountability isn't just about discipline, it's about having that support, just a little bit of encouragement and helping you to stay focused on the reason you started. So, we've talked about the importance of using your resources, communicating any challenges early on, and staying connected with your support system. So, James, could you share an example of a student you've worked with who did exactly that and was able to turn things around and stay on track in their program?
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Jamesia. One of the biggest things that I've encountered with some students is the fact that they encountered something that they weren't expecting when they first enrolled. So I had a student that actually got a job and got promoted. And so they actually were now at a management level, which increased their ability of needing more time. And so when they came back to me, they're like, "Okay, James, I need to get this done because I see the opportunity that I'm going to have when I get my associate's degree. But the challenge I'm faced with is the fact that I have all this time that now I have to commit to work." So I said, "Not a problem. So let's do this. Let's create a game plan. Let's see what we can do to kind of help bring it together." And essentially, what we did is we worked on a time management solution. Once we worked that time management solution, we were able to then say, okay, if you can commit, like said in the slides, between 2 to 3 hours a day, would you be able to get this done? And they're like, yeah. So we said, okay, here's what I want you to do. We built the plan. We tested the plan. We had them give feedback to make sure the plan worked. Everything was good to go. And we're able to get them back on track and right there to graduation. So that is my success story. And I do thank you for letting me share that.
Thank you, James. I appreciate you sharing that example with us. Stories like this, they really show how important support and communication can be throughout your academic journey. Now, with that, again, thank you so much, James. But with that, I'll turn it back over to you to speak about those challenges that students face along their academic journey and how student services will help with that.
Thank you so much. My name is James Nemeth. I am happy to be part of this. I'm part of the Miller-Motte student academics team. I also help with a little bit on retention. And so let's go ahead and switch slides. So one of the biggest things that I kind of specialize in is I kind of help understand what challenges may happen to online students. This is something that happens all the way, all the time. This is something that will just simply sneak up on you. You just don't necessarily know if or when this is going to happen. And so one of the biggest things that we wanted to kind of identify is what do those common challenges for online students look like? So, balancing work, family, and school. This slide, this picture says a million things. It basically shows exactly what we're talking about. Trying to balance work, trying to balance kiddos, trying to balance everything, including that thing called schoolwork, makes it very difficult to do. Sometimes this will actually bring stress levels beyond comprehension and just makes things more challenging. Also, the big pieces, especially with being a student full time, is you may not necessarily be able to work full time, and it does bring some financial stress. Also, one of the big things is if the school is new to you and directly to you, sometimes you're going to have issues with time management because you're just not necessarily familiar with what necessarily time is going to be needed to be successful in class. Those are big things that we kind of key up on and we understand to try to help provide solutions. Again, the simple thing is this: unexpected life events happen, and we have to face those head on. And once we're able to face those head on, we're able to help provide that support network to students to help them feel like they've got that team that's in place to help them be successful every step of the way. Let's go ahead and switch over to the next slide. So one of the biggest things that we definitely like to talk about is time management. What does that time management strategy look like? Well, so far you've probably heard from Ashley and Jamesia is the fact that we're going to take those into breaking those assignments into smaller tasks. The other big thing that we're going to objectively try to do is we're going to reduce stress and improve your focus. The more that we can kind of reduce that stress, bring that stress level down, allows you that ability to focus more, and it makes it easier for you to kind of get your assignments done. The other thing we highly encourage, let's go ahead and follow a weekly schedule. By being able to create a weekly schedule that's going to help you every step of the way, this is just going to simply allow you that step-by-step cadence. Let's anticipate what we should be doing. If we did it in week 1 and we had success, let's go ahead and take that success and let's move it over to week 2. And the other big thing is this. We want to stay consistent. We don't want to have peaks and valleys of emotions. We want to be able to stay consistent with how we're doing the things that we're approached with. And so the more that we can kind of do that, we're going to find ourselves having that more ability for time management and also the strategies that come with it. Let's roll to the next slide. So one of the big things that I'm big on is this. I want to help you make a weekly study plan that's going to help you get a better feeling like you have everything under control. And how we do that is simple. We saw on the previous slide, we're going to break things into smaller. This is exactly what we're talking about. Breaking things into a smaller, bite-sized chunks that's going to make things easy. And how we're going to do it is we're going to do it by each day of the week. Now, one of the things that I will definitely say is this. This is completely customized. You can make different modifications that you see fit. If you don't want to roll all the way from Monday to Sunday, by all means, let's go ahead and let's modify it so it makes sense for you. Again, not every weekly study plan is going to make sense for specific people based off of this. However, this is a good starting spot to see how things will come along and then allow us to kind of make those tweaks and modifications. Again, working with student services is the big key trick to this because we're going to help you with making sure that everything is staying on the right path. So with that being said, on Mondays and Tuesdays, we want to complete our SMART book or our chapter reading assignments. These are huge elements that are going to help you with kind of getting that foundation laid as we're kind of going through your assignments for the week. Now, once you've completed those reading assignments, we're going to kind of slide into Wednesday. And there you see we're going to write our main discussion post. It also happens to coincide that your main discussion post is actually due before the end of the day on Wednesday. So it just simply makes sense that we're going to go ahead and put that right main discussion post on Wednesdays. And let's focus as that being the only thing to kind of key up on. Now, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I want to basically allow you to take 2 days, and I want you to respond to one student on each day for those discussion posts. That's going to help you fulfill the requirements that you need for your discussions. Now, within those 3 days, I also want you to complete your project. So again, we're going to take Thursday, Friday, Thursday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, and we're going to do a reply on 1 day each so that we have a total of 2 that are completed. That's going to fulfill the requirements of your discussion. And certainly the last day that we're going to do on Sunday is we're going to take our quiz and we're going to do the final review. What this enables us to do is we've taken everything that we've done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're going to have our notes. We're going to have preparation. We're going to have a better understanding of all those pieces that we need to do. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take our quiz. Now, please note that the quiz is open book and open note. We highly encourage that you research your answers. If you are taking only 10 minutes to complete your quiz, you have not given yourself enough time to complete that quiz and put yourself in the position to get the highest grade. You have a full hour's worth of time to be able to complete your quiz. Let's use as much time as we possibly can to thoroughly research your answers so that you get the highest score possible. Now let's go ahead and switch over to our next slide. So, simple, you're not alone. For those that are watching this, please tell me you're not alone. I want you to say that to yourself. You are not alone. One of the biggest things that we found that students who communicate more with student services have more success. So again, students who communicate more succeed more. Support services increase completion rates. So one of the biggest things that we do is that by we're helping you and giving you that better understanding of how you can be a better student, what that does is that increases your ability to be successful. We're here to see that happen every step of the way. Also, the more that you engage, whether it's for your academic advising team, whether it's your instructors, the more that we create that engagement, we're going to reduce that feeling of not being connected with your class, and that's going to reduce your withdrawal risk overall. You know, the big thing that we want is it's okay to ask for help. That's a strength. It's not a weakness. So again, ask for help when you need the help. We're here to help provide that support every step of the way. Let's go ahead and switch slide. So some say graduation is the finish line. Did you know that it actually is your new starting spot? And so one of the biggest things that we want to do is we want to celebrate your graduation for completing that chapter that was all of your academics. Now we're going to be starting a new chapter altogether, and that is the next phase. So one of the biggest things that we want to do first is let's celebrate. So we're going to do a virtual graduation ceremony for you, and you also have the option to attend the physical ceremony. The beautiful thing about that is if you have friends and family that want to actually just see you walk across the stage, feel that diploma hit in your hand, and just throwing your hands up saying I did it, that is awesome and phenomenal. But let's say if you have friends and family that necessarily couldn't make it, this is where you can do that virtual graduation ceremony, which allows you to then, if you want, share your grad story. That's right. Stay connected. Share your grad story. We have grad stories all the time that we do in our virtual graduation ceremony that really just kind of resonate and explain that, it was not an easy thing, start to finish, and here's what I had to do to get it going through. The other big thing that we want to do is just please check your email regularly. You're going to see a lot of things that will be coming through for career services. You may see some information coming from student services. We do want you to check your email regularly to ensure that there's nothing missed. Also, please understand, sometimes things fall in the spam. So please check your spam also. And last, we want to talk about career services. Career services is intricate to helping you with job postings, along with the resume and the interview and the support that you need to help you for that next chapter that is starting with your career. And so we just here at Miller-Motte Student Services, we are so excited to be able to share this information with you. And so without further ado, let's roll to the next slide. What questions and answers can we help you with?
All right. Do we have anyone in the crowd that has any questions? Let's check. Doesn't look like it. No questions. All right. Well, thank you so much for everybody who attended today. We truly appreciate you taking the time to be here. As you continue through your program, just remember to stay focused on your goals and don't hesitate to take advantage of the support and the resources available here for you. So we're here to help you succeed, and just let us know if you need anything. Please reach out to Student Services. We'd love to help you and see you through the finish line. Thank you all for coming.